Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. You know, I said a while back, and I say this in my streams quite often, that The Bold and the Beautiful is my favorite soap opera comedy. Episodes like this prove just how right I am. Huh, Hope. There's a guy on my channel named Last Day. Let's just say he's not a fan of Hope. And after a while, watching the show and seeing how Hope moves, yeah, I can understand where he's coming from. Yeah, yeah, he has some merit with his dislike for Hope because Hope and Carter seem like they're about to start fooling around. Brooke walks in. Brooke's like, listen, you got to be careful. You said you want to sit there and keep this on the DL, and they didn't lock the door once again, and she just acts like it's just not that big of a deal. Now, if it was Steffi that walked in there, she'd be like, what the hell? I knew I was right. I knew that you was influencing Carter on all these weird decisions. How do you think that's going to sit there and look for Carter in his career? But yet she just smiles and acts like it's not that big of a deal. Carter wants an answer about his idea. Now, Ridge and Taylor are talking about her broken heart syndrome and how her numbers are improving and everything like that. Yay, good, whatever. Cool. Carter comes in there and Carter's like, hey, I know this is a bad time. I mean, like, Taylor, what's good? I haven't seen you. You didn't say hi to me and when you came in or whatever, when you came to town. He wants to talk about the meeting. And at first Taylor was like, all right, let me excuse myself. Rich like, no. Carter once again brings up the idea about buying all these different companies and making it like a mega conglomerate or whatever. And Red is like, yeah, I mean, that sounds cool and everything like that, but he's pretty much like, I'm not, we haven't decided yet. The thing is, they did decide. I don't understand. Like, my whole thing is like, they're all in agreement that it sounds like a great idea, but they don't like the risk. They feel like the risk outweighs the rewards. So, I don't understand why somebody didn't just sit there and say, no, we're not doing this. It's a great idea, but this is not for us for a variety of reasons. Instead, sits there and says, eh, we haven't, we haven't come to a decision yet, but we'll let you know. And then say, well, we did green light the jewelry line. Okay, we did do that. And that's the thing. Yeah, his ideas could be heard, but at the end of the day, he doesn't really have final say so over this. Rich is like, yo, listen, I got to sit there and talk to Steffi. I got to talk to Eric about this stuff, about this decision. Of course, I love how he sat there and said, well, he had to include Steffi in the decision, but he didn't include Steffi in the Ivory decision. Okay, sure, whatever. Um, but he's like, yeah, we'll think about it and we'll get back to you. Now, Steffi already seemed like she was having a bad morning, because she's dreading going to work, dealing with Hope, dealing with Ivory, and Finn is like, hey, listen, um, just find a way to get along with these people. You don't have to like these people. Just find a way to get along with them. You know? Um, Steffi's sitting there talking about Carter and his weird decision making, which is normally on point, but now he's sitting there trying to back a line that is failing. We all know why. He wants some hope for reasons that are unknown. Listen, she's pretty, but business is business. And of course, that's another thing. So Hope is sitting there talking to Brooke. And Hope is like, once again, stuff came in here and threatened me and threatened my line. And, Smith is saying that, it's up to me if you keep your line or not, as long as you don't cross the line with Finn. And I'm like, this is getting old. And I am so over and sick and tired of listening to you play the victim. First of all, what you did was wrong. Okay? And every time she keeps sitting there talking about it, it's like she sits there and tries to downplay it. And she know damn well if she was in Steffi's position, she wouldn't do that. She'd be furious. So she doesn't even bother to sit there and have any sort of understanding for just the magnitude of what she wound up doing. But instead, she's sitting there playing victim. And again, boo, if you were sitting there concentrating on your goddamn line, you wouldn't have to worry about being on the chopping block. So when she so-called tries to go back to work, she gets bored and thinks about Carter, and she decides to try on some lingerie and hoping to surprise Carter at work, because that makes sense in her bobbleheaded mind. So Steffi forgot her tablet. And, has some time or whatever, so he goes to the office and he goes in that room. I don't understand why he didn't sit there and just try to find somebody. Because my whole thing is like that tablet, you just left that around for anybody to sit there and see. I mean, I would like to sit there and think that Steffi is smart enough to not just you know, leave that type of stuff, like with all sorts of company stuff or whatever in that tablet, but you just never know. So it doesn't even really make any sense of why he would just sit there and just leave it there, even though for Steffi. And any intern or whatever could sit there and see, like, oh man, I'm gonna sit there and see what Steffi's. Oh, and she still has a credit card locked into his tablet. Oh man, am I gonna sit there and do a shopping spree? Like you don't know. So honestly, to tell you the truth, this scene doesn't even really make any sense. But always like, oh, close the door, lock the door, or whatever. First of all, why didn't you not lock the door? And also, why aren't you working on your goddamn line? The failing line that you keep saying they're trying to play victim of. Anyway, this comical scene happens, okay? And it is comical. While Finn is there writing a note, Hope comes out and she's like, oh, close the door, whatever. She trips over some wrapping paper, whatever, right? Falls on top of Finn. As Steffi comes into the room, Steffi's like, she's gasping. She's like, get off my husband and everything. And Hope just has that stupid, bobble-headed, idiotic look on her face like, I can explain. Oh, okay. Well, I want to sit there. I can't wait to sit there and you know what I would wish? I would wish that they would sit there and play like comical music. Because anything that comes out of your mouth is going to be comical. What are you going to sit there and say? You are dressed in lingerie. You are on top of Finn. You already have a history of kissing this man. What is going to come out of your mouth that's going to actually make sense? You know what the sad part is? Even if she sat there and she told the truth and was like, I'm doing this to surprise Carter, she wouldn't believe her. Maybe she wouldn't believe her. I don't know. I think at that time she'll be so angry and pissed off that it wouldn't matter. But of course, we know she's not going to tell the truth. Um, and I just wish there was comical music to be at that part at that specific time. Yeah, yeah. That is the gist of the episode. I might have left out some stuff here or there, but again, that is the just the episode. If I missed anything, write it in the comment section below. Better yet, come to the live stream tonight. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows. General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Bold and Beautiful, and Young and Restless. Also, if you want, I always sit there and try to think of all these different titles or whatever for different shows or whatever. I'm thinking of some titles for Bold and Beautiful, but if you could sit there and write a title of tonight's live stream for the Bold and Beautiful, and if it's good and I can't think of anything else because I ain't watched it in the hospital yet, I may use it. So, anyway, see you in the next video and hopefully live stream.